Okay, and here we are with the Matchbox Golf, the 7e and 7f variation here, and I've got to tell you a funny story about this. Now I'll quickly talk boxes first. Okay, so you've got the earlier box showing the lime green model. The lime green is obviously the early casting. Okay, this is the K type box, and here we have the K with the new model text. So this is the early one, and then we have it without the new. And I've got three examples of that. Now, with some of these boxes, some with, some without new, some are actually quite hard to find. But with the Golf, in all honesty, I can't say that that's harder to find than this one. So you shouldn't be paying sort of high premiums for with and without new on that particular box. I've never had a problem finding either of those, and as a dealer, I've sold several of both types over the years. But this one really is the one to look out for. It's the later L type box. That has become quite rare and very desirable now. These boxes alone, well into three figures now, and that's down to production runs really, because the K box is very common and it had a long production run. So you're talking 76, 77, and you're well into probably 1980. So you've got a good 3 or 4 years production on that. Whereas this one here, the L box didn't have a long production run, so people are looking for this box. Okay, so if you're into the market now looking for that box, I'm not saying you won't get one, but I'm afraid you've got to dig a little bit deeper now to get that. And the last series is the USA generic box, which the Romping Rabbit came in. And the reason they call it the Romping Rabbit is because the Americans call the Golf a rabbit. It's as simple as that. Again, some of you might not know that, but that's why it's called the Rabbit. And it's why that you will see some sort of late sort of pre-productions with rabbit logos. And I've had one actually. I've had an orange one of these with rabbit tampos, which is tucked away in a collection in Germany now. It's quite a funky model, so you will see that. And with the Romping Rabbit, you will see, I mean, essentially it is the same casting, but they put these sort of 4x4 wheels in. I don't particularly care for the Romping Rabbit, but it was in the time frame that I collected, and there are a few variations of this. There's different colour interiors, glasses, that sort of thing. And there is a yellow one, but I think the yellow one is possibly just Macau only. I never went into the Macau years as a collector, but the yellow one possibly. I think the yellow one may be an England base as well. So again, there's probably a dozen or so variations of that. But for me, because there was only the one box type, I stayed with that. I think it does appear in the blue window box as well, and it will certainly appear in hang packs and that sort of thing. But as I've said to you before, I don't do hang packs. Now, as for model sort of variations and colours, now the box artwork, as you can probably see, shows a 5-arch wheel, and that is exceptionally rare. And hey folks, you think I've got one? I thought I did, but I didn't. This only came to light very recently when I put my collection to market, because I realised it wasn't a 5-arch wheel, but in fact a 5-crown wheel. So it was one that I didn't actually tick off the box. I mean, nonetheless, it's still a very rare wheel variation. But as I may have said to you before, I never collected wheel variations particularly unless it matched boxed artwork. So if you want it to match the box artwork, you're going to struggle with that one, because there's literally only a handful out there. It's a very, very rare piece. Then we move on to the basic sort of dot dash wheel variations. So these are identical really. It's just the 5-crown rather than the dot dash, and the dot dash followed all the way through, as you can see. We then sort of they developed a dark green model, the yellow, and then the red. I'll move on to this one in a minute. These are all, as you can see, the surfboard variations. Now the VW Golf, as I'm sure you know, is a very, very, very popular model because of what it is. It's a Volkswagen Golf. There's a huge scene for Golfs, whether it's toys, whether it's the real thing or whatever, because it's such an iconic car from the the 70s and 80s, particularly with the GTI. I mean, such an iconic car. So these are very, very sought after. And again, this is a model where you could have a lot of variations because of the glass options, the interior options, the wheel variations, and the base variations. I pretty much stayed with look. There's only 2K boxes with and without the new. I just went for the standard colours, so the light green, the dark green, the yellow and the red, but there's also a lot of variations in between, and that's what my collection was all about. This one here, I said earlier, the L box is that's become hard to find now, and people are paying premiums for it. My one here has got the blue interior, which again is a rare variation. I mean, there's plenty out there, but again, people are paying premium for the blue interior. I've seen it with and without a tow hook at the rear. I don't know why it comes with and without the tow hook, because the other ones didn't, which is a bit strange, but it does. And again, as a dealer, I've had with and without tow hook. So the blue interior is hard to find, and the reason I had the blue interior one, because for me on the front picture there, you see it does sort of show blue windows, and I sort of took that as well, blue interior, reflection. So for me, it sort of matched the artwork quite well. But if you want to be purist, it doesn't match, because on the striker side, which you can't see in this picture, the model is shown with a red interior. So if you've got it with a red interior, that box, and you want the matching artwork, then that's what it is. But it does show blue windows here. So that's the 7e and the 7F Golf. A lot of people still refer to this as the 7e, but whatever, it's probably just a take on it, really. So that covers the 7e and F, and I'll come back to you and talk about the number 8. So thanks ever so much for watching, and speak to you soon. Bye bye.